Halo semuanya. Hari ini kita mau ngapain nih Kak Baby?
Nah hari ini Kak Riki, kita bakal buat sebuah dessert tentang gambar diri kita Kak.
Wah asik. Kalau gitu dessertnya aku pasti enak banget.
Iya pasti mungkin ya. Tapi sebelumnya kakak mau kasih tahu dulu nih. Hari ini kita akan belajar tentang individuality. Individuality is discovering who you are meant to be so you can make a difference.
Oh, jadi kita harus melihat diri kita lebih lagi ya Kak?
Iya, betul.
Dari luar maupun dari dalam.
Betul banget Kak Riki. Nah langsung aja ya kita buat dessertnya. Gimana? Kak Riki mulai dulu deh. Ingat ya Kak, sesuai dengan gambar diri kakak. Kakak perlu cermin nggak? Siapa tahu bisa membantu buat kakak tahu gambar dirinya.
Oke, aku mulai. Aku itu orangnya baik ke semua orang. Masukin es krim. Bentar ya, es krimnya. Nah, aku keren. Masukin permen warna-warni. Nih.
Wow, enak dong.
Aku rajin. Masukin permen kenyal. Aku bisa menyelesaikan semua masalah. Aku masukin permen buah. Walaupun aku agak lama, aku masukin bakso goreng. Aduh, pedes. Kadang suka marah-marah juga. Masukin saus.
Jadi dessert kayak apa ini?
Ya, kira-kira gini gambaran diri aku, Kak.
Wah, semua campur aduk ya Kak di situ. Dessertnya pakai basreng, pakai permen, pakai sambal, semuanya lucu banget sih. Ini campur aduk banget. Tapi nggak apa-apa, kita semua diciptakan sama Tuhan itu berbeda-beda. Kalau nanti aku buat dessert gambar diri, pasti hasilnya akan beda sama yang punya Kak Riki ini.
Betul Kak, entah lebih campur aduk atau lebih bagus.
Lebih bagus pastinya. Kalau gitu sekarang sebelumnya kita memuji dan menyembah Tuhan dulu ya. Let's go!
You made my heart, made my mind, made me bright so I could shine. And I just wanna say that I'm amazed. All the things that make me me, make you smile, and I can see that God, your love for me
offering time. Kids, kakak lagi worry nih. Kan uang kakak selalu sedikit setiap harinya. Jadi kakak nggak berani kasih persembahan karena kakak takut kalau kakak kasih persembahan nanti kakak nggak bisa jajan. Bentar. Ada WA nih dari Kande. Ternyata Kande ngirimin ayat Alkitab nih. Ayatnya ada di 2 Korintus 9 ayat 8. Dan Allah sanggup melimpahkan segala kasih karunia kepada kamu supaya kamu senantiasa berkecukupan di dalam segala sesuatu dan malah berkelebihan di dalam pelbagai kebajikan. Wah, bagus banget ya ayatnya. Kakak jadi tahu nih kalau Tuhan akan melimpahkan kasih karunia buat kita semua. Jadi kita semua nggak usah terlalu worry ya guys. Dan selalu ingat kalau Tuhan pasti akan mencukupkan segalanya. So, kalian siap memberi? Mari kita berdoa. Tuhan Yesus, terima kasih untuk setiap kebaikan Tuhan di dalam hidup kami, untuk setiap kasih karunia dan pimpinan Tuhan. Tuhan, hari ini kami mau memberikan persembahan persepuluhan kami. Kami percaya bahwa Tuhan bakal mencukupkan dan memberikan kelimpahan kepada kami. Terima kasih Tuhan, kami berdoa, mengucap syukur, dan siap memberikan yang terbaik. Dalam nama Tuhan Yesus kami berdoa. Amin. Selamat memberi semua.
The Bible, it's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 9, verses 9 through 13.
Everyone in the shore town of Capernaum knew who Matthew was.
You may also call me Levi.
But few people actually liked him.
Well, that's rude.
Truth is, Matthew had put himself in an awkward situation. He was Jewish, like his relatives and friends, but he chose to work for the hated Roman government.
Just trying to make a living.
Matthew was a tax collector for the Romans, and tax collectors were known to lie about the amount of money people owed.
5 gold pieces.
But it was only 3 last year.
5, and not a shekel less.
After collecting money, the tax collectors would keep the extra for themselves. Many of them grew rich by robbing the poorest people in their towns. In fact, tax collectors and sinners were considered to be the same thing.
Hey, I work hard.
But no matter how hard Matthew tried to polish his own image, deep down, he knew how others saw him. He heard their whispers as he crossed to the other side of the street to pass his booth.
I do not know how that man sleeps at night.
He's the worst, doing the Romans' dirty work.
But one day, the crowds of Capernaum were full of different news.
Did you hear about Jesus of Nazareth?
The rabbi?
He's not only a teacher. This morning, he made a lame man walk.
That's just talk.
My son was there. He saw it with his own eyes.
The whole city was ablaze with the story, and even Matthew, who was tucked away in his tax collector's booth, was fascinated.
Maybe the man just had a limp or something?
Oh no, this Jesus has real power. He cares about people.
Well, maybe. Anyhow, you owe 3 gold pieces.
3? How are we supposed to eat for the rest of the season?
Take it up with the governor. I'm just doing my job.
I bet Jesus would have something to say to you.
Next.
Within a short time, the market became even more crowded.
Jesus! Jesus is coming this way!
From his booth, Matthew craned to see. Though he was curious, deep down, he had to admit that no rabbi would have kind words for him.
I'm a fool. Even my own people hate me.
Suddenly, the crowds parted. Just down the street, Matthew could see a tall man with a rugged face and piercing eyes. A group of common fishermen followed at his heels.
It's Jesus.
Matthew watched, waiting for the rabbi to pass him by. Instead, Jesus stopped right in front of Matthew's booth.
Rabbi?
Jesus looked directly at Matthew, reading every single thought in his heart.
Nice day? Not too hot, not too cold.
Jesus kept his gaze fixed directly on Matthew's face.
Come, follow me.
Shocked, Matthew looked around. The crowd has fallen away.
Who? Me?
Jesus nodded. Matthew gaped. He had no doubt in his mind that Jesus knew every single thing about him, even everything he'd done wrong. But still, Jesus wanted Matthew to join him.
Oh, well, yes.
Matthew found himself leaping up from his seat and rushing out of his booth to join Jesus on the street.
It's, nearly dinner time. Would you like to eat at my house?
To Matthew's amazement, Jesus and his followers turned their steps towards Matthew's home. Quickly, Matthew sent out word to everyone he knew.
Come to my house for dinner.
Matthew, who had expected to eat alone, found himself hosting the most famous rabbi in town for dinner, along with a ragtag group of fishermen, tax collectors, and other outcasts.
Jesus doesn't care what I've done. He thinks I can be better, that I'm worthy to follow him.
But while Matthew rejoiced to discover his brand new identity, the city's religious leaders were horrified by what Jesus had done. They sidled up to Jesus' disciples.
Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?
You know, that's a great question.
Jesus overheard the religious leaders and answered the question himself.
Those who are healthy don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I have not come to get those who think they are right with God to follow me. I have come to get sinners to follow me.
Preposterous.
From then on, Matthew followed Jesus everywhere. With his own eyes, he had seen more of the things that Jesus had done than nearly anyone else. Near the end of his life, he wrote down all the stories he had witnessed and gathered so that others too could know Jesus.
Sebelum Matius jadi murid Yesus, dia dulunya adalah pemungut cukai, which is itu adalah pekerjaan yang gak baik. Mungkin sebelum bertemu dengan Yesus, hidupnya Matius seperti dessert kakak ini terlihat menjijikan dan gak enak. Kenapa Kak Baby?
Itu dessertnya kelihatan menjijikan banget, campur aduk semuanya.
Tapi setelah Matius bertemu Yesus, seperti inilah gambar diri Matius.
Wah, bagus bener, bagus. Jadi ingat ya kids, you were made in God's image. So, gambar diri kita semua pasti akan seperti dessert yang bagus ini nih. See you next week and God bless you all.